I was almost going to say the only good thing Ronald Reagan said, but actually what he said was, the worst words you can hear are, I'm here from the government and I'm here to help. Really, those are the best things you can hear, because the US government is insanely powerful. So if they're here to help you, ain't nobody stopping them from helping you. Like, they have the biggest military on the goddamn planet. Who's going to stop them from helping you? Like, that's a good thing. You want the US military and the US government on your side. The year is 2023. We are approaching the end of Pride Month, and at the moment I'm not feeling very proud of my country, particularly the SCOTUS. The Supreme Court of the United States, that is. They have just ruled on a few things. They had some cringe decisions. They had a pretty surprising decision on their first one a few days ago. They made a ruling about something going on, I can't remember which state it was, but they basically said no to state judges being allowed to overturn elections. Like, it would have been a clause stating that you can just overturn elections that you think were unfair, right? Which would have effectively ended democracy in many states. And that would have been a disaster. That being said, I guess they wanted to boil us a little bit more slowly. And the next three decisions that came out were not as great. I remember the first one, I might get the order wrong, but I'm winging this entire segment, so forgive me. But the first one that came out was about student debt. That's what it was. Affirmative action and student debt were decided on yesterday by the Supreme Court. So for the student debt thing that Biden proposed, which was basically that anybody making under $130,000, I believe, would be forgiven $10,000 of their student loans, which would have helped a lot of people, myself included. I am $90,000 in the hole. I would like to be at $80,000. I don't have any interest accrued because of the timing of the pandemic, which made us hold off payments. But I will be starting payments this August, September, very soon. I'm excited. No, I'm not. That's a lie. But yeah, we'll just have to be, paying back our student loans. And not only will we have to pay back, I say $90,000, it's not going to be $90,000. It's going to be, at the end of it all, like hundreds of thousands of dollars that I pay, just because of interest payments, which is disgusting and immoral and shameful, especially for the richest country on earth. But I digress about that. So that was their first decision. Their second one was on affirmative action. Now, I have to say, I've always, even since becoming a leftist, kind of given a weird look at affirmative action. I think it's very difficult to give scholarships or admission or whatever else it is. I believe it's just admission that this was tackling, not scholarships per se. But it's kind of difficult to give admission on the basis of race, right? You're not just black or white as an American anymore. You got all kinds of mixed races. You got people like me who are 1/8 Cherokee. So am I POC? Who knows? But no, I'm white. I'm white as fuck. I'm white as mayo. So affirmative action was put in place to help specifically black communities, but also other people of color, gain entrance to college under a fairer lens. Because before that, the main issue that we were having was very racist college admissions programs, right? Another problem that we had was grandfathering, right? Those who aren't aware, the grandfather clause way back in the day after slaves were freed basically stated that if you were a black person, you had to take an intelligence test. Well, anybody had to take an intelligence test. The law couldn't be written racially. So you had to take a certain intelligence test to test how smart you are or how much you know about the country before you could vote, right? Bullshit right off the bat, of course. But what that did was it also left out many white people who were uneducated because, it wasn't all just black people who were very poor and uneducated and unable to know basic things. So what they did was they said, okay, well, here's what we'll do. If your grandfather was allowed to vote in the last election, then you are allowed to vote. Now, let's think this through. If slavery had just recently been abolished and the clause states that your grandfather was allowed to vote, how many black people do you think are getting out of that test as opposed to white people? Because I'm thinking it's probably not that many, okay? So basically all this was two laws acting as one that stated if you're black, you have to take this test that you definitely probably won't pass. Obviously you could, but the point was to keep black people from voting. That's always been the point, and that continues to be the point even today. So with college admissions, the grandfather clause relates to that because of legacy admissions. And basically all that means is if you have a relative that goes to the college or went to the college or is a staff at the college, you get in more easily, right? Not great because it reduces the amount of merits that we give people when we consider admissions. So not great. And affirmative action being overturned is also going to affect that, which sucks. But as Bridget Gabriel tells us, Martin Luther King Jr. would probably be proud of the decision and would be standing with President Trump in support of the Supreme Court's decision to end affirmative action. Truly a great day for equality. Thank you, Bridget Gabriel. I don't even really know who you are, but you must be smart. You must have an IQ of at least 200. Not going to allow us kind of counting on that forgiveness. Never, ever, ever counts on the U.S. government to be there for you when it matters. I was almost going to say the only good thing Ronald Reagan said, but actually what he said was, the worst words you can hear are, I'm here from the government and I'm here to help. Really, those are the best things you can hear, because the U.S. government is insanely powerful. So if they're here to help you, ain't nobody stopping them from helping you. Like, they have the biggest military on the goddamn planet. Who's going to stop them from helping you? Like, that's a good thing. You want the U.S. military and the U.S. government on your side. Don't say that, Alec. I'm waiting on my disabilities. Yeah, that's another huge issue, especially in Ohio, as I know people in Ohio who are on disability, and it's not a great situation. Basically, you're not even allowed to have, like, more than $2,000 in your checking account. It's bullshit. The third and final ruling that they've made so far, I should say so far, I don't know if they're going to continue making rulings or not, but the third ruling that everybody's kind of upset about, rightfully so, is they did a 180. They did a 180 kickflip, right? And they were like, oh, by the way, we know that we just said discrimination is wrong, but actually it's fine in this case, because what happened was, okay, so apparently there was this web designer. They wanted to only work on same-sex weddings, and they claimed religious freedom for that. Now, the issue with this is, well, there's several issues. It's discrimination is what it comes down to. You are saying that if you're gay, if your partner is the same sex and or gender as you are, I will not work for you on that basis. Now, obviously, there are loopholes that a lot of people like to use. You know, oh, well, I can't do it because of this and this and that. Or you can, like, jack up prices for them under the table. You know, there's all kinds of funny little things that you can do to get around being fair and being a decent human being. Having in place the statement that the law that you cannot discriminate based on sexual orientation is very important. The easier you make it for people to discriminate, the more they're going to do it. Because the whole point is to put up so many roadblocks that it's not even worth it for you to discriminate. If you truly do just hate gay people, most people will just roll their eyes and say, fine, I'll go ahead and do it, and they will just do it, okay? This is a crucial part of ending discrimination against gay people. So on the one hand, yesterday, they decided, well, discrimination is bad, and today they decided, lol, just kidding. No, it's not, actually. It's fine as long as it's against gay people. That's fine. So yeah, that's where we're at. Thank you, SCOTUS. Thank you. Very cool. Also, thank you, Obama. Here, I want to pull up Obama's tweet real quick. Obama. Affirmative action was never a complete answer in the drive towards a more just society. For generations of students who had been systematically excluded from most of America's key institutions, it gave us the chance to show we more than deserved a seat at the table. In the wake of our Supreme Court's recent decision, it's time to redouble our efforts, he continues. So, if you're looking for ways to help right now, here are some organizations doing important work. And all I have to say is, I feel like there was an 8-year period, of about 8 years, if I had to put a number to it, that this could have been avoided. I just get that general impression. In all seriousness, what I mean is, while Barack Obama was president, for those who don't know, we had a very old justice by the name of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And she should have stepped down, and Obama should have pushed her to step down so that he could put in a Democrat justice that would have prevented things like this from occurring, even in the face of a Republican-led government. So thank you very much, Obama. Very cool. Thank you. Very cool. And thanks to that not happening, we're at where we're at now. We can go back and back and back for as long as we want. At the end of the day, what's happening right now is basically the Supreme Court justices are ruling from their thrones as just kings and queens. The conservatives have power right now. They have the majority in the court. So anything the Conservative Party wants, they can basically just get it through. Now, it seems like the court's playing the long game, as I said at the beginning, so they won't outright ban democracy just yet, but I do predict that they are just turning up the heat slowly. They don't want to completely lose legitimacy right away. I think that they're learning from their mistake with Roe v. Wade. But I do also think that this is just going to get worse. So where does this leave us? Well, what you guys can do is you can get organized locally, as I always say. I do want to start doing it myself, but I can't promise that I will. Fight against these things on a local level and try to escalate it as much as you can. You know, you can get with Progressive Victory. They have a nice Discord server. I'll link it in the description. Or you can get with your local DSA. The DSA is not perfect. They have their issues, but it is about the best we have in terms of organization right now. So I highly encourage you people to get active out there. Tell people to vote. I've been seeing this discourse pop up again of anti-voting sentiment on the left. Bullshit. Don't listen to it. Vote, please. For the love of God, vote, and tell your friends to vote unless they're conservative. Then tell them to stay home. You can tell conservative people that voting is useless. Don't tell that to liberals or leftists, please. That is bad. So go out and vote, but also get active in your communities. That's really the best way we can fight this right now as individuals. It's unfortunate that we've reached this point, but we're at where we're at, and all we can do is fight back against it the best we can. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want to see more. Hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload. You can join my channel membership at youtube.com/AlecGunther/TTV/join for only 99 cents a month. That's less than the price of a blowjob from your mom. You can be part of the channel membership program, and you will get early access content, as well as a sweet badge next to your name and exclusive emojis in the comments that nobody else gets. Thank you again, and I will see you all in the next video.